Here's a little song I wrote right from the city note for note.
Good morning. Sort of a busy morning, but we're looking forward to doing a captain's call that'll help put out some worthwhile word on some of the plans for this weekend. And we'll look a little bit into the future, and we'll also recognize some exceptional performance by the crew. So I think it'll be an interesting captain's call. We'll also have time for some of the captain questions that y'all might have, and we'll see how that goes here. And we have a visit coming up also as soon as this captain call's over by the Undersecretary of the Navy, Tosick, who has done a great deal of good for many, many individuals as well as the overall Navy. So he's coming on board here at 1100. So we'll jump right into the awards section here of Captain's Call, and it's a great deal of pleasure that I ask Petty Officer Benzinger, come on up here. Petty Officer Benzinger has done, put that one down here, has done a great deal of work in the V4 division. I know working throughout in the fuels area and making sure that that division shines and all it does, and it's been very successful. You're working with a good bunch of folks, and this award represents all that hard work that you and your compatriots there in the V4 division have been doing, besides passing record numbers of fuel. But this last time around in the advancement cycle, you should be very pleased. The performance of all the men in the division, they did very, very well. And of course, you guys are pretty legend for keeping this place squared away. So if I can get the XO to read the citation.
The Secretary of the Navy takes pleasure in presenting the Navy Achievement Medal to Aviation Bosun Made Fuels First Class Robert Benzinger for services as set forth in the following citation. For professional achievement in the superior performance of duty as Aviation Fuels Division's leading petty officer in USS Lexington from 23 January 1989 to 28 February 1989, displaying superb leadership and exceptional managerial acumen, Petty Officer Benzinger was directly responsible for achieving significant improvements in the damage control readiness of Lexington's Aviation Fuels Division. He developed and initiated a comprehensive training program providing instruction concerning shipboard casualty, and in addition, his personal dedication, attention to detail, and involved leadership resulted in outstanding grades for V4 repair teams during Refresher Training 89. Petty Officer Benzinger's exceptional professionalism, initiative, and loyal dedication to duty reflected great credit upon himself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. For the Secretary of the Navy, C. Flack Logan, Captain, United States Navy.
Well, we're going to have to do it this way right now, Petty Officer Benzinger. We'll get, I don't like it that way. Well, excuse me for a second here, crew. There's something about if you can't do this thing so it looks decent, we'll just put it on here so it looks better there. We'll take that one over there. That may hold together there. There we go. And that there. Once again, congratulations. They're all places good. Have a round of applause. Okay, we'll get that to you here. As a man who does not lose his hat. So if I could ask Petty Officer Dancer to come up here, please. The navigator coming up here also. We've done a great deal of work also that when we pick out a time frame, when we did a lot of things that were specific in this regard, that worked during refresher training and at specific times, but we know that throughout your tour. You've done a great deal of good things for the ship, and we greatly appreciate that. So it's a real pleasure to see all that come together here on this specific time. So I get the XO to read the citation.
The Secretary of the Navy takes pleasure in presenting the Navy Achievement Medal to Signalman Second Class Candy Lynn Dancer, United States Navy, for professional achievement in the superior performance of her duties while serving as Signals Division Publications Petty Officer from 21 February to 27 February. Petty Officer Dancer performed her demanding duties in an exemplary and highly professional manner. Displaying exceptional skill and initiative, she improved the signaling capability to an unprecedented level of excellence. Utilizing superior foresight and management ability, she updated all Signals publications and initiated a training program which led to her division to 0 discrepancies and a perfect score in the publication's knowledge during Refresher Training 89. Petty Officer Dancer's exceptional professionalism, enthusiasm, and loyal dedication to duty reflected great credit upon herself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. For the Secretary, C. Flack Logan, Captain United States Navy.
Very pleased to see that. You know that represents a great deal of work and a super performance there. We've got specific accolades for the effort done by the Signals gang. So we're very pleased with that. We certainly are also. So congratulations. And now I get to see is the Senior Chief Doctor. We have one of the bigger guys in engineering. And Gator, maybe get this for Penny after Dancer there. Significant performers here who have done a great deal of hard work here. And and I guess I really am pleased to note this, although I must say that I'll be sorry that you won't be always around to continue to beat up on and know that you're down there taking care of us on the spaces. And your new job you're going off to?
Boiler inspector.
Boiler inspector there. I know you'll be able to assist and take your expertise, which has been key to a lot of our success, on to other places there. So I wish you good luck in that. And I'm very pleased to say that we're pleased to see that you got your enlisted service warfare specialist here before you left. It's a significant achievement. And I'm very pleased to note it there. So I'd like to say congratulations on that. We'll give that one to you there. You got it on there already?
Yes, sir.
You're way ahead of the game, just like guys are running. If you come back there, Senior Chief, let me sign that. Will you? Those things are sign. And so don't get too far with that. How about leaving that here with someone here, and we'll try to get that officially signed for you. There's no truth to the rumor that we've been winging it today at all. We're just, Seaman Guidry, is that how you pronounce it? Guidry? Guidry. I'd like to bring you in here and recognize your extra efforts in there, which resulted in your specific Sailor of the Quarter designation. We're pleased to see that, and we're looking forward to continued excellence and hard work by you and recognition for that. So we're pleased with that one. XO, do you have the citation?
Yes, sir. The Commander, Naval Air Force Atlantic Fleet takes pleasure in commending Seaman Gregory Guidry, United States Navy, for outstanding performance while serving in Lexington from 1 January to 1 April 1989. Seaman Guidry consistently performed his demanding duties in a highly effective and efficient manner. Displaying exceptional skill and resourcefulness, he provided prompt and accurate radar information during sea details, which was critical to the safe navigation of the ship and resulted in outstanding performance on the swept channel and precision anchorage exercises during refresher training in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. The professionalism, initiative, and resourcefulness he displayed led to his selection as Sailor of the Quarter. Seaman Guidry's untiring efforts and total dedication to duty reflected great credit upon himself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. This is by R.L. Dunleavy, Vice Admiral, United States Navy, ComNav Air Force.
So you'll get a letter of commendation from Admiral Dunleavy, which is a good thing to have. Gives you extra points in advancement. You also get this beautiful plaque here that says you're the Sailor of the Quarter for the first quarter of 1989. A 96-hour Liberty. And a cod flight. Now it just says Lexington Blue Ghost, but it really means any cod for the C2s when they come on board off there. It's good for that too. So it's worth a great deal. We gotta get these things updated so that they really reflect the truth in lending here, or whatever it is. So congratulations, we're really pleased there. Wish you continued success. Thank you for your hard work.
Cost-effective.
We need to get that.
Yes, sir. That's
the current one on there.
Well, I guess we'll get the real one when he
Real one's
signs it.
coming. Okay. A good bunch of people. It is a real pleasure to work with these folks because they do such a good work and they continue to perform with high excellence. So just go on now, XO. You're supposed to tell me what things you're going to talk about.
Yes, sir. In fact, there's a lot of important things going on. Obviously, as everybody knows, as we make preparations now for our Orientation Independence Day cruise coming up. And right off the bat, the first thing I want to tell you, those of you that are responsible, it's important that the ship look really good on Saturday. So our zone inspection for tomorrow is aimed primarily at the passageways, the bathrooms, toilet facilities, the heads on board, the ladders primarily getting from actually the third deck all the way up to Vulture Row up on the 08 level, and make sure that the treads are in good shape, and make sure that your chain stanchions are in good shape, that they're tight, and that some of our older guests not used to going up and down Navy ladders can do that safely. We certainly don't want someone, your parent, your wife, your children, to get hurt while we're out here. So please take a look at that. And also, I think I'll cover just briefly the parking arrangement because there is a bit of a problem in that the Fiesta 5 Flags is going on, and the Bayfront Auditorium will be secured for preparations for the parade and the balls that are going on over there. So some of you probably saw today when you tried to park over Bayfront that a lot of the area is roped off. Saturday, that will be the same arrangement. And so, my recommendation would be those of you living on the ship, get your cars parked away as early as you can, spend the night on board, get here. Don't try to beat that rush at 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning when Liberty expires, and try to get back to the ship. So Bayfront is closed. The spillover obviously goes into the Belcher area, into the designated areas out on Tarragona Street, some of the overflow parking here on the pier, and then worst case is our security will be providing traffic directions and also security for our guests and also our crew members who are forced into parking down the Civic Auditorium, and then buses start running to bring the people to the ship starting at 4 o'clock in the morning. Additionally, we'll be using our Special Services van to bring our crew members back that park there during the evening time.
So on Friday, tomorrow, Bayfront Auditorium parking is not there.
That's right. Friday and Saturday.
So Friday and Saturday, we got to park either in Belcher?
Yes, sir. The overflow, the Tarragona extension, which is primarily the chiefs and the first class petty officer, and then additionally out there by the main entrance, which I think is parking area 3 or 4, but it's a small parking area for the second class petty officer. And then the overflow is over to the auditorium.
And you're going to have your security's going to have their people out there trying to keep people going in the right direction tomorrow morning. And
yes, sir. And there'll be buses if people are forced to park up.
Buses for people who park up in the Civic Auditorium. But we got to clear out the Bayfront Auditorium tonight. Okay, so if you're parking there, you got to know by tomorrow you got to be out there.
And then Saturday morning, Liberty expires at 0600. We intend to get underway at 0800. Not only do we intend, we've always made it, so I suspect we'll make it this time too, which means that the guests need to be on board as early as possible. I'd recommend between 6:30 and 7 because the brows will be lifted at 7:30. Don't try to rush in here, plan on parking close, running up the brow and coming aboard. You'll find that you may miss the ship, and we certainly don't want that to happen. So plan ahead, bring your guests on time, and be here ready to see. And I think we're going to have a fun day. And anytime you've got 1,500, 1,600 people, guests on board, it involves the entire ship. Everybody on board is a tour guide, basically. A smile and face and what I say positive enthusiasm is what really wins the day and makes this a notable experience for our guests coming on board. If you can help out, do so. If you're available, get up and be about and let the people see and answer some of their questions. I think we're going to have a good time. Be back into port around 1700 alongside. I would expect we'll probably be letting the guests off the ship somewhere around 5:30, and I would think most of the people will be gone by around 6 if all goes well. So it'll be a good full day, and really counting on everybody to help out and make that a fun day. Awesome.
Yeah, and the cleanup, you should be, I'm glad you're doing a zone inspection. I mean, you really need to clean it up there. I remember when I was a kid and my Aunt Sally used to come over and visit, so, we really had to clean the place up. And,
I'd like to meet your Aunt Sally.
Aunt Sally may be here. That's right. So if Aunt Sally shows up, hey, I know I got to clean the ship up, and so I think she's coming, so we need to really clean it up. And this is not a normal Dependence Day. What we've got here, this is one appreciation for the wing commanders at Meridian Field, at Whiting Field, and at NAS Pensacola in that area. So that was a primary focus, was to provide, we're providing the service to these people who are really are our customers in all regards. These are the folks who send out the aviators, and we provide the platform for them. So we want to do something for them. So we're going to have like the navigation bridge, or where the navigation folks work out of on the Flag Bridge area, and we're going to try to set that up for some VIP usage. And the whole thing is going to be oriented towards providing these guests with a good look at naval aviation, and thanks for all the good folks they provide us too. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think it'll come off quite well. And let's do all the things the XO says we need to be able to do. Work out the plan. The galley's going to be open. We're going to feed the guests on the hangar bay.
That's correct.
And in fact, the crew can in the hangar bay also if they want. But we will have one line of the galley open for people who are just going to work there. And
The watchstanders and people.
Watchstanders and things like that. The crew, that's right. And if you don't have guests, you go down there. But if you have guests, take them to the hangar bay. That's really the best way, and that's where we have it set up to do. And we'll have demos and things going on there in the hangar bay. That'll be very interesting.
Band playing?
A band, that's right. The New Orleans band, good band's going to be playing there.
Selling tickets on our
Orlando. Band from Orlando. A band. We'll be playing. And actually, do I get to play my music when I leave?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we'll have music as we go out the channel and all those things. And we'll have a little explanation of the historical aspects of Pensacola Bay and Fort Pickens and Fort McRae and Fort
Barrancas,
all those forts up there, whatever they are, and we'll explain all that. So make sure we know. And then we come back, we'll play our music again and have a good time. I think it's going to work out real well. The parking thing will not be necessarily the smoothest evolution we've ever experienced, but we're going to work those issues to make sure we resolve them. And this is a good opportunity to, to wash down and scrub down our parking before you're doing things. So we're going to, the security department is all ready to do that, I think, as best we can. Mess Chief, what do you have here?
Well, I have a couple of things, Skipper. I would like to start off with the child care for the Dependence Day crew.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the XO signed a memo, and we delivered it over there. Now, what you want to do today or tomorrow at the latest, though, is call the child care center to ensure that your child is registered over there, because if you haven't used the facility for a while, or if you haven't used it at all, then you certainly need to check with them and ensure that your child is registered. And we ask that they start accepting Lex dependents at 0600 on the 13th, Saturday morning, and they will provide child care until around 1900. So that gives us enough time to get back in here and pick up our children. So that's the world on the child care.
And there's no truth to the rumor that they're supposed to sell the kids in 1900.
No, sir. No, sir. There is no truth to the rumor whatsoever. Okay. Absolutely. They'll be there.
Okay.
Okay. I went to a meeting with the Naval Relief last week, and out of that it was a good informative meeting, and I am the central point of contact for the ship for Naval Relief. They've got me on the list over there. Okay. But it's two important things. If an individual needs help from the Naval Relief, and they go over and maybe they get turned down, it's important that the chain of command gets involved at that time if they're convinced that our people need help.
Sure, you
get a hold of Naval Relief. The other very important thing that I found out from Naval Relief is that if we have somebody that goes on emergency leave, when you're overseas, going on emergency leave is very important because they pay your way back to the state. But here it's very important too, because Naval Relief tells me that they can get 25 to 30% discount on airline tickets and bus tickets for people on emergency leave. Also, that Naval Relief, Red Cross, their funds are available to people more readily if they have an emergency. So it's important that the chain of command decides if an individual has an emergency and give them emergency leave. It really helps them out, and they don't have to go through a hassle along
And
with
we
the
got the
problem.
chaplain working with the Navy relief folks and the Red Cross and yourself, and we need to keep that going, and because Navy relief's helped us a great deal, and they're trying to help us more. And now that we've grown up and moved away from the Naval Air Station and we're on our own down here in downtown Pensacola, we need to make sure that we keep those lines of communications going, and that you work with the chain of command there to make sure that we're all able to support that.
Absolutely. The other thing, we went to a health consumer meeting, a consumer health committee meeting yesterday, and we found that the hospital people are really doing some good things for us. Skipper, number one, they have already contracted a lot of needs, if you will, that we don't have military people to provide, and they have those people working in the hospital right now. Now they've got a new plan that they're working on, and the CO there said it should be started early next month, I guess. It's called Partnership Medical Accommodation. And what it is, they go out in the community and hire a civilian doctor, bring them over to the hospital, provide them with an office, equipment, and everything else. And he or she provides accommodation to our people. So the medical people really seem to be trying to do their best to accommodate us. If any of the Lex crew members have...
We need to get that into our next newsletter or something, as to what that is and how they can, our crew members can make use of it. So maybe we can get medical to assist and put that...
They are doing that, Skipper. And I was going to say that anybody that has comments about anything, please get it to our medical people, because they go to all these meetings, and also they have contacts over the hospital. And that's all I have, sir.
All right, well, that's good. Yeah, I wanted to say congratulations and thank you very much to, I guess it was really Lieutenant Frankel and Petty Officer Gross and Chief Villanueva who helped everybody when they came aboard for that Sunday school program for the Pensacola Jewish Sunday School students. And that was a really well done effort, and I appreciate those types of effort that you all do so very, very well. And, I have a couple other things I wanted to mention here. One was that the ESWS, I really enjoyed doing that ESWS recognition for folks like the Senior Chief and Petty Officer Day, who just got his ESWS program, and I want to keep that program going. It's very good for you and it's good for us. Also, another program that we need to make sure that we're doing is performance counseling, and midterm performance counseling also of our, and that starts with, that should be something that you get from within your division. You know, and if your division officer, division chief has not given you term performance counseling, then you need to say something about it to make sure we get that going. Department heads have been told that, hey, it's something that we have to do. It's an important feedback device, and we need to make sure we're doing that. And the last thing is, not the last thing, but another thing is that the use of and the involvement of our crew in such things as the Partners in Education is greatly appreciated, and it's a good thing that we do to help those perhaps less fortunate than we are, and help them be all they can be and perform well. And besides that, it's a lot of healthy feedback you get. You're going to feel good about yourself when you do something like that. In our POD for today, we talked about the fire party billet training, about people who are going to pick up a training and when we do it on board the ship. And that came up last night at the meeting we had over at my house with the enlisted spouse. What do we call that group anyway? A wives club or spouses club type thing. We had a meeting. There was around 10 spouses that came over last night, and they had I had a little talk with them, and it was fun to have them over there for a good time. And for those who came, I think they came away with having had a very worthwhile gathering. They talked. There was some concerns about how we get people to get on the fire party and how they get off it. And I told them that one of my biggest concerns is to make sure I have good people on the fire party, and if I have to keep good people on the fire party to make sure that the ship is safe, then that's what I'm going to do. Because that's one of the parts and parcels with being in the United States Navy. You've got to make sure you take care of your responsibilities, to take care of your ship and your shipmates. And so then I hold that to be a very important thing. So when we put things in how do people get qualified, that's something that everybody should be involved in, everybody should make sure it's happening. I noticed also that during the dependence cruise, or this cruise, we're going to have somebody in Oklahoma City. If you're from the Oklahoma area, there's going to be some media folks on board who want to talk to y'all. That's how they talk.
Right, y'all.
And let's see, I got a letter here. We already talked about the parking, and I think that's, we mentioned that there's a lot of questions on the parking, and if there are any specific questions that the security officer would be glad to work on that. And I haven't found out exactly what the scores of our softball team. Does anyone know what those scores are? How are we doing?
Oh, we came in second again yesterday in a big tournament, and got another big trophy coming on board. I saw a men's softball
There's
tournament.
not a female softball team. No, they seem to have a lot of fun and like to see how we're doing, so we can keep after it. We appreciate your hard efforts in making that team work.
They beat Mildred's Beauty Shop the other night.
Mildred's Beauty Shop, they took right down to the parade rest. Well, way to go there.
They're the number 1 city.
What? Okay, see, our team's doing a good job. And penny suds, hey, there are methods. You can get money. The supply officer works with that thing. You can make extra dollars. I want to give you money. Just make good, beneficial suggestions. I'm looking for ways to give away dollars.
And price fighters. checks.
Price fighters checks. There's lots of ways you can do it, and we'll be glad to help you do that. Got a letter here from an ex-radioman first class who said he wants to personally thank the excellent crew members for the very fine time and reception they gave him on board during the trip downtown there. And he says it brought back many fond memories when he was aboard Lexington between 43 and 45. The courtesies and the patience of the crew members must be commended, since it was out and above and beyond all the regular duties. And he said nobody faulted. Everybody was just out there and helping, and they really appreciate it. That's the first time he'd been aboard since June of 46. And he said, the ship looked better than it did in 46, and he says, and the people of the crew was a lot nicer without them. He says, but the nation's in good hands when we have fine crew members like that on board, such as we have here on the ship of the USS Lexington. So thanks again for the never-to-be-forgotten day he spent aboard the old Lady Lex. So thank you very much to the crew for doing those kinds of things. And we have certain members of our crew, before we go into the question and answer thing, who are going to come up for a special day. And we have some single parents here on board the Lexington, and Mother's Day is on Sunday. So if you've got a single parent or on board your division, make sure that you tell that person, he or she, congratulations on Mother's Day, and make sure that they have take care of themselves for an extra, one of the many extra good things that they're doing. So, if we have any questions, perhaps we don't have any questions.
Yes, we do.
A couple of questions.
Somebody wants to embarrass me.
Why isn't the Command Master CPSWS qualified?
Yeah. All right. I said if I get that piece of paper from NMTC on 5 June saying that I'm not history in there, then I'll get this little pin. You see this little pin? Now, the person that sent me that question, send me another note telling me that you qualified too.
We want to get everybody qualified. It really is an important, worthwhile. And I'm glad to see that you're asking those questions.
Yes.
No slack. Will there be daycare available for this family cruise? It will be available with 40600.
Right.
Well, not before 0600.
At 0600 we start.
Are we working on a plan to control the people coming onto the ship at all hours of the day and night? You have to be more specific with that. We have people on the brow, and I guess I'm not sure what you're talking about. Are we allowed to leave the ship for lunch and civvies?
Well, to be very truthful, we are, it's interesting that came up as a topic, we are kind of taking a look at that. It appears to us that we're wasting a lot of time taking pretty extended lunch periods leaving the ship, but as it currently stands, there is no restriction against them. But please beware, putting on your civvies at 9 o'clock in the morning and disappearing for lunch is starting to be
Well, but I know that the chiefs and the supervisors, you cannot let that happen. Hey, we're here to do a job and get the work done, and there's a lot of important things to do. However, hey, for lunch, lunch you can do, but you got to make that something you work out with your chief, and that's how you run the organization. Will downed aircraft be towed to Pensacola at MAS? I don't know. Do we prefer to put them on a barge? I think you're trying to tow them through the town of the port of Pensacola would be very difficult. We got a Geenock machine so people could get snacks on duty nights. Well, it says the supply officer will look into it. The problem is real estate, where you put it, and unreliable machines.
We'll look into it. We've had them before. We've had some problems.
We've had some problems. We'll try it again. It's probably E4 and below parking, cars there are being broken into. Can we get more security there? I guess I had a report that there was a couple cars broken into, or their tags were taken. Do we know anything about that?
No, sir.
I have got no reports.
We've got no reports that they're in, well, that's interesting because that came out at the wives' meeting last night that says
That's
it was
right.
their husbands
Yeah.
who said their cars. So if you had your cars broken into or things stolen out of your cars, you need to report it to our people so we have a handle on what's going on.
Speaking of cars, there is an issue. We need to make sure that Lexington personnel have a Lexington sticker on their car because we don't know what to look out for or look after, and we can't notify you if a car is a problem out in the parking lot because we don't have stickers on. It's 300 or 400 of them that were out there yesterday.
Over 300 in that parking lot.
They need to come down to
Without
security, right?
stickers.
Come to security.
So there's, we're putting a lot of cars out there in the Brave Fun Auditorium, and it's your car. You know, we're trying to help you, but we cannot solve your problems. It is a city parking lot. We're going to try to help you, but you've got to help us also. Is the Family Day Cruise daycare free of charge?
Yes.
Yes, it
The
is.
ship will pay the bill.
Will Section
Exo
1
said
get
we
off
could-
tomorrow or Monday because we have the cruise Saturday and duty Sunday? Fine, we'll have to look at
We'll
that.
take a look at it.
Can we have more root beer in the hangar bay soda machines? Boy, I sure hope so. I root beer is one of my
You like
favorite
root beer?
things. And the answer is yes. We can see about adjusting the mix if overall sales warrant it. So you root beer lovers out there, go for it. Since the first class and chief are parking at the bayfront, can E4 and below park in the dirt lot on Commandencia? I mean, we have not said that you park. We put that. We had a sign up there that said.
We have signs, but we don't restrict it. If they can't park at Bayfront, they can certainly park.
We'll have to get together and work that out.
Right,
then.
right.
You know, if it's just going to have it open parking, then we're going to have to call it open
Yeah.
parking and park where you want. If people go to the first class and chiefs prefer parking in Bayfront also,
Right.
so
They do.
That's the best part.
That's
parking.
Best parking, really, except for.
you heard it. Best parking is in the
Yeah, so
Bayfront
we'll
lot.
just open it all up.
How come there hasn't been any soda in the mess decks for the past 3 weeks?
George, were you
They
going to
had a
answer
little
that?
problem. Yeah, they had a little problem.
They had a problem getting
With the
CO2. Oh, come on, we can get CO2.
Yeah, well, he said he's getting it.
Okay, with 3 weeks. We should not have to wait 3 weeks for CO2.
What did he do?
Okay, hey, you gotta, that's right. We need to work on that thing, too. Okay,
seems
Master,
to-
you got some questions?
Yes, sir.
What are they anyway? Okay,
Well, you know,
will there be running buses tomorrow from overflow parking at the Civic Center? Yes.
Yes.
From 6 to 8:30? No, from 6
From-
to 7:30. Oh, tomorrow? You're talking about Friday?
But tomorrow, sir.
Okay, yeah, and Friday, they'll be running them. Yesterday, we run the buses from the overflow parking at the Civic Center because the bayfront will not be available. So, and then we're going to put folks in. How are we going to do it in the Belcher? I mean, you're just going to have some of your security people there saying you can go in the Belcher and park.
Yes, sir. They'll come in the military gate, though, not the.
Okay, if you come in the military gate, the gate where we have our guard on there in Commandencia, they'll be handling folks out there to Belcher until we fill that one up, and then we'll just say, hey, there's no more room here. We'll have to go off at the Civic Auditorium, and then we'll have buses that'll get you back there. Why do the motorcycles have to park so far away from the ship? They take up such a small area. I don't think that's very far.
Oh, yeah.
Joggers should be reminded not to wear Walkman radios. In fact, I like to, when any guys drive motorcycles, rather than take
those things are dangerous.
dangerous.
Yeah.
I guess that's right. You can drive your motorcycles as long as you comply with the rules. Joggers should be reminded not to wear Walkman radios on the pier and in the port area. That's true. I mean, what do you do? Run yourself in. And this area, this is not NAS even when you have a sort of a restricted clientele driving around the streets. You're getting the local semi trucks driving down here, and trains and planes and everything else in between. So no, don't wear Walkman radios in the pier. Don't wear them in the port area. Don't even wear them anytime when you're in any place at all where you can hurt yourself. I mean, it's not cool to get run over while you're listening to your Walkman. Why isn't Lexington more involved in Special Olympics? Well, I wish I had your name so that I could ask you to come down and see me, and we'll talk about how we can get more involved in Special Olympics.
And actually, we're looking at getting more involved. I believe July, you're going to introduce Special Olympics
That's
and
right.
make a presentation.
But we
We're trying
need
to
volunteers, and would love to do more things with it. But I've got I cannot go around and just represent Lexington in all these things. I need to have people like yourselves come out and say, let's us get involved in the Special Olympics. And let me take the lead and make it happen. You know, and that's, if you'll do that, you know, we'll support you a great deal. We'll be glad to do that. I would love to see that happen.
And we have several people that are very active, and I'm looking for some names to head up that whole program of that.
Super. You bet. Let's get involved. The Special Olympics is for special people who definitely need all the help we can give them. Liberty expires at 6:06, but that's when daycare opens.
But they can come in at 4 o'clock, though, Skipper.
Well, but they can't get the kids to it.
What do you mean? Putting this
With the daycare, you got to
yeah, but they don't have to be here though till 7:30.
Well, that's something we have to work out with the supervisor.
Yeah, we'll work out.
If you got trying to get your kids and put them in there, hey, you know, it's a reasonable man rule.
Yeah, and it's free. And sure, we can work that.
Why don't they extend the people in I division until they're DC qual? Now, people, you know, it's an individual responsibility. You know, that's what we're trying to teach people. The Navy is not a welfare society where we don't do anything and it's until you can do it. What we really want is people to stand up for themselves on their own 2 feet and make it happen. And we want supervisors. That's the reason I'm a strong advocate of the chain of command. I want to get somebody under a chief. I want to get somebody in a first class who says, hey folks, you're supposed to get DC qual, now do it. You know, that's the reason we have what is known as those cards, you know, that the guy doesn't do his job, the chief can say, you don't get off the ship at 1600 today. You don't get off the ship until 1900 today because you're going to do 3 hours of extra work on your DC qual. You know, and I need to have a chief petty officers who can do that. Now, that's, you know, to say, hey, I want I division to do all my work for me, just means you don't understand how an organization runs. An organization runs in divisions where people are responsible to people they work with. So we need to get them out of I division. We need to get them into the work center. We need them getting to do their jobs. And part of their job is to get DC qual. Each and every one of us needs to be DC qual.
Last two.
I got one there, and I'm not sure what they mean. Can we have summer whites as an optional working uniform during the family day cruise? I would say sure.
What,
You want to work? If you're going to work in your whites, work in your whites.
You know, chief engineer not going to do that now.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And some folks look good in white. If we serve no vital function,
That's it.
why can't we have military claims when our cars are broken into at Bayfront? Hey, this is not in the military. I don't know. We'll have a legal folks look at it. We'll have a legal. Put it in
That might be a good question.
Right, hey, that might be a fun question. You bet.
That might be good.
What are the mess deck hours? I think they're secure early. Well, I don't know. Looks like the supply officer wasn't sure either. You might have a point there. I mean, he's got a whole bunch of things crossed out here. I think we'll look at making sure the mess stay open the hours they're supposed to do. Actually, I'll look into that one. Make that the POD.
That's it, Skipper.
Well, I thank you very much for your time. We're looking forward to a good gathering on Saturday. And y'all come. Lots of good time. We're all going to be there.